Greetings friends, Riz here, you're on the Rubric channel. Today we have a special episode by popular request from our subscribers. Also for those who have just joined my channel or seeing me for the first time or haven't been following me for long, this video is called Getting to Know Me. My name is Rustam. I am from the beautiful country of Kyrgyzstan. I'm currently in the capital of our country, Bishkek. I was also born in Kyrgyzstan, but in a village called Ananivo, located on the shores of the stunning Issyk Lake. I grew up in the city of Tokmak, which is about 40 or 60 kilometers from Bishkek, where I currently reside in. This is where I grew up in terms of business, where I studied, graduated from university, and where I stayed to live and achieve my life goals. I studied banking and even worked at a bank while still at university. However, I realized that banking wasn't really my thing. Still, I gained a solid foundation there. Communication with clients, sales, all of which I learned at the bank, and for that I'm very grateful. At the same time, I was passionate about Photoshop and graphic design, learning various design techniques. Eventually, this evolved into me starting my own advertising agency. We began by focusing on design and printing various products, and then expanded into SMM, promoting Facebook pages. Back then there was also a social network called Odnoklassniki, and Instagram hadn't even appeared yet. We entered Instagram as it was emerging, so we grew alongside it. Thanks to Instagram, I eventually started a modeling agency and a photo studio. I transitioned from graphic design to photography. Now I own a photo studio, a modeling agency, and a production company where we shoot various types of videos and photos, mainly for marketplaces. That's my main line of work. This is for those who have been asking what I do. I'd like to share how it all started. In the late 2018, my first child was born, my son Tagir. You've seen him on my channel. I am the kind of person who doesn't hold back when it comes to gifts for my children. Only the best strollers, the best toys. My sister also helped raise him as his nanny. The first Lego set he received was a Duplo construction set gifted by my sister. So that's when we realized he enjoyed building, constructing, and coming up with ideas. We noticed that I realized we needed to get more sets, especially since Lego has amazing ads at the end of their instructions showing how you can combine sets to create something bigger. I fell for that hook. I really fell for that hook. I started ordering some sets through Wildberries, a popular marketplace in the CIS. The first few sets, then I flew to Moscow and bought a few more sets for his second birthday. Eventually the Duplo collection grew to around 40 sets, and there was nothing left to buy on Wildberries. That's when I noticed a discount on more adult sets. I was into Star Wars, not super deeply, but I'm a fan of DC, especially Batman and Marvel. I saw a discount on the Brickheads set 75,317, the one with Grogu and the Mandalorian. I bought it on sale. Then I saw a discount on Lego City sets. I thought, okay, my son is almost 3, so why not? I bought my first Lego set for myself on February 6, 2022. That's when it started. Small sets on sale, 6 February 2022. That's when I started. The small sets on sale around 1,000 or 1,500 rubles, maxing out at 3,000 rubles. I wasn't super into it at first. My son even helped build some sets. Then we moved on to city sets. That's how the construction of my city began. We bought a police car, then a school, some trees for the park, and other small sets. Eventually I thought, let's buy a base plate to connect everything. So that was the basement. Some sets already had road pieces, and then I found out you could buy roads separately to connect everything. A city started to form, and we could even act out scenes. We even filmed some battles on our phones. There's a video on his channel. In the short section, I made a decision. He's such a charismatic and smart boy, and he loves filming himself. I thought, why not take advantage of that? I asked him if he wanted to be a blogger, and he said yes. I realized I had everything: production, cameras, sound, everything needed to shoot videos. So we decided to order a few sets and start filming. We began with shorts, then moved on to longer videos. We had an employee who helped us shoot, but unfortunately we had to part ways with him and the videos went on pause. Then I thought, why would I keep an employee just for one channel? And nobody actually was interested in the amount of money I was ready to pay. And then I thought, why not try filming something for myself? I had also planned to start a YouTube channel and explore online income. I had already started collecting Lego. On December 27th, 2022, I decided to get myself. This was my first big collection. It was Star Wars, a few starships. That's when I started collecting brick heads. I ordered 3 heads and I built them myself without my son's help. And honestly, I loved it. I realized I'm a puzzle enthusiast and a collector at heart. I thought, okay, I have 3 brick heads, but there are more to complete the collection. So I decided to focus on collecting heads. Since I already had some brick heads, I thought that's it. I'll only collect brick heads and only brick heads. Meanwhile, my son started watching the Ninjago series, so I ordered him some of the Big Macs. Eventually, just spiraled from there, and I thought, why not film this? Maybe I could even monetize it, and by unboxing it. So I decided to film for 2 channels, my son's and mine, killing 2 birds with one stone. I'd collect because I love it and maybe earn some money from it eventually. I didn't have grand plans to make millions or buy sets with the earnings. I started buying, I didn't have those plans, and I started buying a lot. Honestly, I'm a bit of a gambler, and I bought in large quantities, and thankfully my income allowed it and still does. I bought so much that I couldn't keep up with filming. We had issues with the first video team, then the second one. Some slept until 3 or 5 p.m. Some delayed videos. So someone deleted videos. Some just didn't like filming. Everything got delayed, and we kept postponing. YouTube doesn't like the inconsistencies, so the channel had its ups and downs. And my son's channel still has issues because we can't find the right person. We launched both channels simultaneously, but the person filming my videos doesn't have time for other channels. Since we relaunched my channel, we decided to focus on it, so you see my videos more often. But the original goal was his channel because he loves it. Besides Lego, he has a Hot Wheels city with many cars and tracks and so on. And since everything's tiled, we have been buying him Gojitsu, Hot Wheels. We buy some Akedo. There are these toys, action figures. All of it sits sealed and collecting dust. You can't even imagine how much there is. We're still looking for a videographer and a team for his channel. And I hope to launch it within the next month. So I tend to jump between topics, but I wanted to share how it all started and where it has led. Over time, I realized I could become a Lego ambassador. One of my goals is to become an ambassador. Why? Because the sets we buy arrive very late, very late. My videos, which many of you enjoy and comment on, thank you for the motivation. Thank you for that. So they can't be posted on time. For example, a set releases on the 1st, but by the time I order it from the US via Lego.com, it takes about 10 days to reach the American warehouse, then ships to, I set the address in the US, then it gets shipped to there, it takes about 10 days, and then it ships to Turkey, and finally to our country. It costs me really much, $10 per kilogram. I bought from Lego's official site. I used Amazon. It's actually available in the Russia, for example, and even eBay. I mean, the Visa works. You can use PayPal. Everything is available, and so this way I use eBay and I use the Lego.com. I use Amazon and the great site Bricklink. There I buy the old minifigures. Also, it takes a long time to arrive, and as an ambassador, my main goal is to get free sets, though many vloggers do, actually, but to receive sets faster and post timely videos. On the 1st of the month, you could, or the day before, you could watch the videos and could purchase them. The videos are relevant and get more views. Otherwise, it's pointless. Sometimes I get comments like that, why are you filming old sets? So they're not that antique, but they're not new either. So since they arrive a month or two late, we also need to shoot it. We also translate videos into English. If you search it up, there is an English channel of mine with the same logo, but without the label, the Russian language. So it takes time as well. So becoming an ambassador is one of my goals. I admire Lego as a company, their sets, their collaborations, what kind of deals they make, and the year and year after the increasing detail in their design. Kudos to Lego's designers. If I stay healthy and financially stable, I'll keep collecting them. My dream is to open a museum in my city so people can admire these sets, as our country is flooded with Chinese knockoffs. To give you an idea, I have Chinese knockoffs at home for my son, as he tends to lose pieces, and I would actually feel bad if they were originals, but honestly the quality is poor and they are really fragile, easily broken, and it's really fragile again. so you can actually not disassemble them anymore. And all the minifigures, legs, and there's a big difference between the original and the knockoffs. Also, they are not compatible sometimes. So let's move on. You've probably understood who I am, what I do, and how I earn money. It wasn't easy. 10 years of hard work in my business, starting from the very bottom. So don't think I am some rich guy who gets everything easily, that I have some kind of sponsorship, or no, it's been earned through sweat and blood. To this day, I reap the rewards of my labor and can afford to collect. Wish the same for everyone, but it takes effort. There is no such thing as easy business. All those videos promising millions in a month are just fairy tales. What's earned quickly disappears just as fast. So stay focused. That's my advice and motivation. Over time, you will develop hobbies, so to say, and start collecting not just Lego but everything. So as for bypassing sanctions and restrictions and where do I order the sets, I have already answered that. Besides the US, I also order from China. In my live videos, I often talk about this. So it turns out that original sets are much cheaper in China through the sites like Pinduoduo. For example, if a set costs $500, you can find it for $400. They're about 10 or 20% difference. I tested it with T-Rex. I guess it was T-Rex Brickhead set, and it was from the Jurassic World. It was indeed original. Since then, I was ordered more expensive sets. I got it for 3,000 sums, I guess. So it came, I unboxed it, and yes, it was original. And after that, I ordered more expensive sets to confirm, and they've all been genuine. I was afraid that there would be something bad or a Chinese knockoff, but it came as original. And now the last one, I ordered the what was Hogwarts or the Winnie the Pooh. Before that, I ordered, I don't remember what it was. You can see that in my live videos, 5 or 6 of them. Recently, I ordered the biggest sets yet, the Millennium, with around 7,500 pieces. It will be my biggest one. It's still on its way. I guess we'll get it in 2 weeks. So I also ordered from China. If you are in Russia, I'm sure sites like Pinduoduo and shipping services work there. Just read reviews to avoid knockoffs. So next question, I wonder, where do you order the sets besides the official websites and Amazon? I have already answered that question. I always do. So what do I do with so many sets? Do they just sit on shelves? Really? And yes, actually, honestly, about 70% of what I've bought is still sealed. We try to unbox new or relevant sets tied to movies or serial releases. For example, with new Avatar movie coming out, we'll unbox our Avatar collection closer to the release date to capitalize on the hype, and by the hashtags to move up in the search bar. So the rest unfortunately just sits there. I haven't been able to order shelves yet, so we have hung what we can on walls, cars, paintings, and smaller sets, everything that could fit there. But there is no more space. I have to remove old items to make room for the new ones, and everything that is related to the city. The city is a separate story because I love building. I built my photo studios, do renovations, and for me, constructing a city is my absolute favorite thing to do, especially building custom creations, mountains, roads, intersections, and infrastructure. I'm obsessed with it. The city will always keep growing. Right now, it's about 70% complete. So here it is. Completion is in current state. Once I finish it, which I think will happen within this year, we'll expand. I don't know where we'll expand to. Either we'll break down the wall between offices and integrate it into the office I'm currently in, or we'll move. And that's really scary with this many sets. In August of this month, I went through a move. You can watch the live video of us moving. We were in 20 square meters and now we're in 120 square meters, and if we expand further it will be even bigger with many more sets, and moving will be very complicated. Everything will need to be packed up, so yes, everything is gathering dust, slowly being unpacked, and it will continue to be unpacked. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to every day to sit and build Lego. I'd love to, but I have a business that also requires my attention, otherwise everything will fall apart, and I won't even have the means to buy Lego sets anymore. Next, the sixth question. Where is it cheaper to buy? It's cheaper to buy in China, but I still buy from American websites because I want to show a certain story. And there is the concept of accumulating points. I get additional bonuses, gifts from Lego. Yes, it's much more expensive, but I still buy there. For some older sets that are very expensive in the States, I buy from China. Next, the eighth question. Will you assemble a team to manage the Telegram channel, like an admin, a marketer, etc.? If the Telegram channel grows and becomes, let's say, maybe I'll start selling Lego. Maybe there will be a big vlog. Maybe I'll share Lego news. Maybe I'll open it up for people to leave comments, or even open another Telegram channel for communication. Of course, then I'll need to filter and spend time deleting negativity. Maybe I need someone for that. Ninth question. So Lego, is everything completely yours, or other people who own part of this? No, there are no other people, only my children who will inherit all of this. I hope they won't sell it all for cheap on the first day I'm gone. And again, I want to open a museum, and I hope it will exist even after I am gone. Next. Besides Lego, by the way, I also collect action figures. Right now it's McFarlane toys, some official Star Wars action figures, Marvel, and of course I dream of collecting action figures by Hot Toys. So my museum won't just have Lego, it will also have some expensive action figures, maybe some statues will be added over time. So there is still room to strive and things to buy. Next, the 10th question. Hello, how do you deal with dust? How do I deal with dust? First of all, in the room where the city is, I have laid down carpet. It's a good solution because it absorbs the dust. To prevent the dust from spreading further, I have a robot vacuum cleaner that cleans under and around the city. I turn it on once a week and it goes through all the rooms, including this one. Also, I have two handled vacuums from Xiaomi and Karcher, which are very convenient. The robot vacuum is a rubber rack if anyone's interested. Besides that, I have expensive brushes with very soft natural bristles that I use to dust, and what else do I do? An air humidifier, which also helps settle the dust and absorbs it. And I also have an air purifier. I don't turn it on often, but all these methods help reduce the amount of dust. And before, I used to dust especially black parts almost every 4 or 5 days, but now it goes once a month or even every 2 months until I noticed, oh, here it turns out there was some dust. It's not as noticeable anymore. Next, do you plan to add a monorail or a subway system to the city? I do, but definitely not in this city. There is no space left. Monorails, unfortunately, if I'm not mistaken, are quite expensive. The parts are hard to find and they are pricey, especially the remote control for it, but it would be amazing. I'd love to make my city more active, and ideally, I'd like to have lighting, but lighting is also very expensive. Next question, how does your wife feel about your hobby? Yes, this is a tricky question, especially considering that I don't own any property. Everything is rented, even the apartment we live in. So it's a bit of a contentious issue. Sometimes even when it comes to vacations, I don't take them often and I need to spend more time with my family and relaxing. She is more upset not about the money I spend on this, but about the fact that I spent less time with the family because of it. So we find compromises. I'm very grateful to her for that. I love her very much. So big thanks to her. Maybe a lot of things is thanks to her not being against me spending so much money and time on it. Ideally, of course, I'd like to travel more, own an apartment, and not pay the rent, which again will go to my children. But just as apartments are getting more expensive, all Lego sets are also increasing in value. My BrickHead collection has grown by almost 20 or 30% in 2 years. Some heads I bought for 75 or 70 are now worth 300. There is a plus to that, of course, but I can't sell that in my country. I'd have to sell through Amazon, eBay, or Bricklink. Shipping from our side is very expensive. Next we have you ever thought about hiring help for building sets or something similar? Yes, as those who watch my last streams know, I also buy used sets that are disassembled. Honestly, sorting them takes a lot of time. Of course, I need help, but for now, I am managing. I think eventually I'll definitely need someone. As for building new sets, I'm not sure because in principle I manage, but I don't even have time to edit and upload all the videos I should. If, for example, our channel grows to the point where we're posting daily with sets being built every day, of course I'll need help because again I spend most of my time on my business. Next, how do you order from Bricklink? It's the same system. I officially order through my account to a US address, and from there it comes to me. Payment is through PayPal. In our country we have Visa, and our bank support linking to PayPal. So next, 15. Wow, congratulations. Where do you go get so much money for Lego? I've answered this question. 16th question. I really like that your son understands that Lego isn't just a toy and even helped you build at the beginning and later too. Yes, my son is well versed in this. He understands. He even knows more than I do in some areas, especially when it comes to Ninjago or City. He's definitely more knowledgeable. In some newer releases, he's not as so up to date because he's starting to move away from it. He's 6 years old and a half now, almost 7, and he is getting into gaming. He plays Minecraft, he plays Fortnite, he plays PlayStation. He is starting to move away from Lego. It's a phase. Yes, he might come back to it, but for now he enjoys collecting Minecraft sets. So, next. Where do you buy parts for custom builds? It's Bricklink. Since I buy used parts, I wash them as shown in my live videos and I use those parts for custom builds. How much do you spend on Lego? It's hard to say, sometimes $1,000 a month, sometimes up to $3,000 including parts. That's not counting shipping and other expenses. That's roughly the amount. It's a lot of money, but there is a goal to build collections, to make videos, to build a city, and to open a museum, which might in future generate income, say through entrances fees. Maybe in the future I also sell Lego sets, have accumulated a lot of duplicates, and I have recently many gifts from Lego. So maybe over time I'll sell or trade them. I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet. You're into collecting, as I understand, judging by the room with assembled models. You don't build custom models. I do build custom models, but they're more massive. Roads, mountains, the tunnels, these are also custom builds, but on a larger scale for the city. There are a couple of structures like small stalls, parking spaces. I have rebuilt a couple of sets from scratch because I had those sets at home. Like I think the pet shop, I rebuilt it into a completely different set. Then from some friend's set, I also built a completely different set. I turned it into a furniture design store. So honestly, I'm not satisfied with these builds, but again, I'm still learning. I've really gotten into Lego, you could say, for about a year now. Before that, yes, I bought it and built things, tried filming, but it's been about a year since I fully immersed myself in Lego. Next, the 20th question. Is it worth keeping Lego sets sealed? Will they be the same value as open sets? So, but based on my experience buying old sets, sealed sets are definitely more, not much, but about 30% more than opened ones. So you have the patience, you can buy them and keep them sealed, but I don't plan to do that. I will open them, and I don't have the goal of selling them. I don't know. Maybe over time, since I have covered so many themes: Marvel, DC, Ninjago, City, modular sets, ideas, Disney sets, Brickhead. I have chosen too many niches, and it's becoming very expensive to collect all of this. So I advise everyone to choose one or two themes, otherwise you won't be able to keep up with new releases. It all depends on your income, of course. So over time I might set aside some themes that no longer interest me, and I'll sell those sets. But for now, again, I don't have such problem. Next, how do you store Lego sets? Well, I store the sets I have already built which don't fit on the shelves. I wrap them in stretch film, use Ziploc bags from IKEA, and store them in plastic bins. For parts, of course, you need a system. I use these transparent Chinese bins and sort them by color. Again, all of this is in my live videos. I have posted about 25
If
live
you're
videos so
interested,
far.
start from the first video and see how I began, how we moved, how I store everything. It's all there.
Next, what are the most popular Lego communities? Well, I follow Brixie. I forgot his name. Anyway, you probably know him. He lives in Germany or Denmark and also builds a big city. He mostly does custom builds. He doesn't use sets. Brixie, he lives in Canada. He collects the ready sets and just the ready sets and combines them into a big city. I'm doing something similar. He is my role model. The guy who lives in Germany or Denmark, I can't remember, he does custom builds, right? I admire him. He's a beast. Really, I do respect him. I'm still far from that level. Right now, he's building an airport, and I watch almost all of his videos. If we're talking about DCIS, I follow Very Big on Telegram, and sometimes I watch his TikTok videos. And there is someone named Shiro. I think he buys used sets. I also watch his YouTube channel. That's the two communities I follow. That's it. I can't think of anything else. There are a couple more YouTube channels, but I can't remember their names. Mostly I watch city build. That's what I say. I don't watch collectors. I also watch big builds like massive Star Wars dioramas, the panoramas battles, of course. That's also, but I can't really name them. I can't even remember their names. I'm subscribed to many
YouTube channels. Next, is it worth collecting minifigures or is it too late? It's never too late. These sets, these figures, they're getting more expensive every day and there are more and more collectors, so it's never too late to start collecting. Even start with new ones. These minifigures will be much more valuable in the future. Again, it depends on your goal. If you're aiming for profit, there is always a reason to collect Lego. If you're just collecting because you're a fan, then of course don't be afraid to start. Never be afraid to start. For example, with Marvel, I am currently buying everything that comes out. I am going back in time and I have reached 2019 so far. Then it'll be 18, 17, of course it'll get more and more expensive. In short, it's never too late. How to buy a Lego cheaper and what's your opinion on Chinese Lego? Well, I think I've answered this. It's cheaper in China, cheaper during sales, waiting for discounts. Black Friday in the US, save up for Black Friday. There were huge discounts this year, honestly. Lego disappointed me a bit. There weren't many good sets on sales except for the AT-AT of course, but I expected more. And Chinese websites, in general, that's it. Well, I've talked a lot, almost for 40 minutes. To sum it up, I am glad to have met everyone who is recently subscribed to me. I'm grateful to everyone who comments on my videos. There are some really dedicated fans. I don't consider myself a role model yet. There are people who comment on every video. Big respect to them. Thank you so much for the motivation. There are people who leave feedback guiding me, saying shoot like this, shoot like that. We always take that into account, and with every comment our videos get better and better. We are constantly improving, experimenting, trying new things. My latest video is already more polished, let's say. I'll try to shoot more live videos. I plan to make a separate video about my city. The next video like this, a conversation one, will be about my city. I want to show it in detail, talk about my plans for it. There will also be a video about storage, maybe the Lego storage, that's all in the plans. Follow my releases, subscribe to my channel if you haven't liked the videos, and hit the bell button. We've got YouTube partnership, so hit the super like. I'll be grateful for your support. Subscribe. This was Ruz, and this was our introduction. The Rubric channel. Goodbye.